Private jets are often associated with luxury, style, and exclusivity, but they can also be the scene of bizarre and tragic accidents. Over the years, there have been several strange private jet crashes recorded on video that have left viewers shocked and amazed. From runaway mishaps to unexpected bird strikes, these incidents highlight the dangers of private jet travel. In this video, we're going to look at some of the most bizarre private jet crashes ever recorded on video. Make sure to watch till the end. Sknyliv Air Show Disaster. The Sknyliv Air Show disaster was a dark day in the history of aviation. On July 27, 2002, a Ukrainian Air Force Sukhoi Su-27UB piloted by Volodymyr Toponar and co-piloted by Yuri Yegorov crashed during an aerobatics presentation on Sknyliv Airfield near Lviv, Ukraine. The crash caused a devastating impact that would leave a scar on the aviation industry and the people who witnessed it. As the airshow began, the atmosphere was filled with excitement and joy. Families, aviation enthusiasts, and locals gathered to witness the spectacle. The roar of engines filled the air as planes took off and performed breathtaking maneuvers in the sky above. However, the mood would change in an instant. As the Sukhoi Su-27UB took to the skies, the crowd watched in awe as the pilots performed daring stunts. Suddenly, the plane started to wobble and twist in midair. The crowd watched in horror as the plane plummeted to the ground, crashing in a fiery explosion. The scene was chaos. Smoke billowed up from the wreckage as screams and cries filled the air. People ran in all directions, trying to escape the burning debris. The once cheering crowd was now in a state of shock and disbelief. Emergency services rushed to the scene, but the damage were already done. Across the field, some burned beyond recognition. The screams of the injured and dying could be heard all around as ambulances and fire trucks tried to make their way through the crowds to reach those in need. As the dust settled, the extent of the tragedy became clear. 77 people had been killed and over 500 were injured in what became known as the Sknyliv Air Show disaster. The once joyful event had turned into a nightmare of unspeakable proportions. The investigation into the disaster revealed that the pilots had attempted a maneuver that was too dangerous for the plane to handle, leading to the crash. But the damage had already been done, and the lives of so many had been irreparably changed by the tragedy. The Sknyliv Air Show disaster remains one of the worst aviation accidents in history. It was a moment of terror and chaos that will never be forgotten by those who witnessed it, or by the families and loved ones of those who lost their lives. It's a reminder of the fragility of life and the danger that can come with even the most seemingly innocent of events. The aviation industry has since taken significant measures to ensure safety and prevent future disasters. The Sknyliv Air Show disaster will always serve as a reminder that human error and negligence can cause catastrophic events. It's our duty to learn from the past and make sure that such disasters do not happen again. Number 2. TransAsia Airways Flight 235. The TransAsia Airways Flight 235 crash was a harrowing and tragic event that left the world in shock. On February 4, 2015, a 10-month-old ADR 72-600 aircraft departed from Taipei Songshan Air destined for Kinmen, Taiwan. However, shortly after takeoff, disaster struck. The plane, with 58 people on board, including 5 crew members, was flying low over Taipei City when its right wing hit a bridge, causing the engine to break off. The plane then careened out of control and crashed into the Keelung River, just 5 kilometers away from the airport. The scene was one of chaos and devastation. As the news of the crash spread, emergency services and rescue teams rushed to the scene. The river was thick with debris and bodies were strewn across the water. Despite the heroic efforts of the rescue teams, it soon became clear that there were no survivors. The crash had claimed the lives of all 58 people on board. The investigation into the cause of the crash revealed a number of alarming factors. The pilots had reported engine failure shortly after takeoff, and it appeared that they had attempted to restart the engine while the plane was still in the air. The investigation also revealed that the pilots had mistakenly shut down the plane's only working engine, leading to the crash. The crash was a dark day for the aviation industry and left many questioning the safety protocols in place. The incident highlighted the need for better training for pilots and a review of the safety measures in place for older planes. The tragedy of the TransAsia Airways Flight 235 crash had far-reaching consequences. Families and loved ones of the victims were left devastated and heartbroken. The event also had an impact on the airline industry, with TransAsia Airways later ceasing operations due to financial difficulties and the loss of public confidence. The disaster served as a reminder that even the most advanced planes can be vulnerable to catastrophic accidents and that human error can have dire consequences. It was a stark warning to the industry to review safety protocols and ensure that accidents like this do not occur again in the future. It was a tragic event that touched the lives of many and left a deep and lasting impact on the aviation industry. As we remember those who lost their lives in the crash, we also honor the bravery of the rescue teams and emergency services who risked their own lives to try and save others. Number 3. 1994 Fairchild Air Force Base B-52 crash. The crash of the United States Air Force Boeing B-52 Stratofortress on June 24, 1994 is a tragic and haunting event that will forever be etched into the memories of those who witnessed it. The crash occurred at Fairchild Air Force Base in Washington, United States, and was caused by the pilot's reckless actions. The bomber, piloted by Lieutenant Colonel Arthur Bud Holland, was performing a routine training mission when he decided to perform a low-altitude flyby. However, what followed was a series of fatal errors that would lead to the death of all 4 crew members on board. As the bombers approached the runway for the flyby, Holland executed an aggressive climb, pushing the aircraft beyond its operational limits. The plane stalled and began to lose altitude rapidly. Despite the best efforts of the crew, the aircraft could not be saved and it crashed into the ground at high speed, exploding on impact. The scene of the crash was one of chaos and devastation. Emergency services and rescue teams rushed to the scene, but it was too late. All 4 crew members had been killed instantly, and the wreckage of the plane was scattered across the base. The investigation into the crash revealed a number of alarming factors. The pilots had reported problems with the aircraft's altimeter and airspeed indicators, but Holland had dismissed their concerns and continued with the flyby. The investigation also revealed that Holland had a history of reckless flying and had been reprimanded for his actions on numerous occasions. The crash of the B-52 was a dark day for the United States Air Force and highlighted the need for better training and safety protocols. The tragedy of the B-52 Stratofortress crash had far-reaching consequences. Families and loved ones of the victims were left devastated and heartbroken, and the incident had an impact on the morale and confidence of the Air Force. The crash also sparked a debate about the culture of the military and the need for greater transparency and accountability. The disaster served as a stark reminder of the dangers of reckless flying and the importance of proper training and safety protocols. It was a tragic event that touched the lives of many and left a deep and lasting impact on the Air Force and the military community. As we remember the lives lost in the crash, we also honor the bravery of the rescue teams and emergency services who risked their own lives to try to save others. It's a reminder of the need to remain vigilant and ensure that safety remains the top priority in military aviation. While private jets are generally considered to be safe and reliable, these bizarre crashes serve as a reminder that accidents can happen anytime and anywhere. The importance of proper safety protocols and risk management cannot be overstated, and private jet owners and operators must take all necessary precautions to prevent these types of accidents from occurring. As we continue to enjoy the luxury of private jet travel, let us never forget the importance of safety and vigilance. I hope this compilation didn't disturb you in any way. The video we made is just intended for educational purposes, and I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section below. We have similar content on our channel, make sure to check them out and give us a sub if you feel like we did a good job. Have a good day.